this is Ray Luskin, and welcome to Discover the Creative Edge. Tonight we're talking about 7 tips to tap into your imagination. Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. So what is imagination? Some people look at imagination as being a collection of our past experiences, our perceptions, the beliefs that we mix in, and then we sort of give new possibilities, new ways of looking at things. Other people view imagination as being the ability to turn parts of our mind on, sort of like a radio receiver, and it allows you to tap into a greater mind, a larger self, a creative intelligence that exists outside of you. Still, there are other people who see imagination as being divine guidance. I'm not here to tell you which way is right or wrong. There isn't. I'm here to invite you to open your mind to new possibilities by examining your own experiences and allowing you to decide which works best for you. I'm also looking to give you 7 tips or activities that will allow you to tap into more of your imagination, no matter which definition you choose, whether it's something inside of your own head or whether it's something outside. It is a muscle you can build when you actively work it. You see, whether it's internal or something somebody might call esoteric, the reality is that we have access to every answer to every question that we ask. My own personal belief is that as we become more self-aware, we tap into our imagination more consistently because we open ourselves to more options. My belief is there is a field of consciousness that flows through all things. Spirit is ever expanding through and as me. And as we expand our consciousness, we tap into this field, which allows us to be more creative, lead more abundant and richer lives. The reality is you can be anyone or anything you want to be. It just takes a pinch of confidence and a spoonful of imagination. Do you want to write this fabulous novel, be another Hemingway? Maybe you want to be a painter like Michelangelo. Or maybe you want to become the next Steve Jobs or Warren Buffett. Who knows? Maybe you want to improve your health. Maybe you want to have just more money in your bank account and take your kids on a fabulous vacation. Whatever it is you want to do, be, or have, you can. You have the tools. They're right there. So we're just going to take a few minutes to go through 7 activities that are going to tap into that imagination, that are going to help you to dream bigger, to have richer, more fulfilling lives, and are going to allow you to shine and be the best example of who you could be. The first one is play. As children, we played endlessly for hours. We invented, we created, we were pirates, we were ballerinas, astronauts, firemen. We could do and be anything. And we did that for hours on end. We'd be standing out in the playground, or we'd be in the sandbox, or we would even be, the next Babe Ruth. I'm dating myself, obviously. And, we'd be out there playing our sport, whatever that is, or maybe it'd be Michael Jordan, and you just stood there and you were, you imagined yourself day in and day out as Michael Jordan, and you were, throwing those free throws and getting 3 points. So somewhere along the way, somebody said, stop daydreaming, stop playing in your imagination. You got to get serious. You got to get real. And so you did. And you cut yourself off from a source of inspiration, a source from ideas. So I'm going to tell you today, the first activity I want you to do is play like a child. I want you to go to the park and get on teeter-totter. Go play in a sandbox. Take chalk and draw on the sidewalk. Maybe it is get on a swing and pump those legs as high as you can go. And if you have a child or grandchild, get on the floor and play jacks with them or kick a ball. See what their world is like. And remember, it's okay to have lots of fun and laugh out loud. The second tip is I call dress for success. So what does success look like or feel like to you? I want you to think about who would you be as the man or woman who is a success. And I want you to research your hero, Decide to emulate that person that you want to be. So if you want to be the next Steve Jobs, study him, emulate him. You know, he took a class in calligraphy in college just because he wanted to. So who knows? If there's something you want to study, just study it. Maybe you decide you want to be this great dancer like Martha Graham, so you're going to pretend and walk through the day as if you were Martha Graham. Or if you wanted to be a great painter like Picasso, get a canvas and just stand in front of the canvas. You don't even have to paint yet. Just imagine what it would feel like to be that artist, walking through the day and having his studio and the way he looked at the world and how he saw things through his eyes and through his senses. If you want to be a community activist like Martin Luther King, read his speech, I Have a Dream. Watch the movie, Selma. Read a book about him and imagine what his life was like and be that person. So that might mean turn the other cheek someday. It may be let's look at other opportunities and ways to negotiate, to have dialogue, to create new conversations that shift paradigms. Whatever it is for you. Now, I know one of my heroes has been Mary Morrissey, and she's a great coach. She spent many times working with world leaders, especially the Dalai Lama and other peace leaders, and she facilitated programs with them. So I know she was one of my heroes, and so I have a couple pieces to this. First, I imagined myself facilitating these conversations. I'm going to be standing at the UN. That's part of my big dream, and I'm going to be having conversations with world leaders, talking about using creativity for healing, social change. It's really important to me. Then I saw her writing the foreword for my new book, and I rehearsed it over and over again, and I wrote this out twice a day, and oh my God, the foreword was beautiful, and I saw her name, and I saw exactly what she wrote, and guess what? I have a new book coming out at the end of July, and it's called The Creative Activist, Make the World Better, One Person, One Action at a Time, and it says, Forward by Mary Morrissey. So you just have to embrace it. It's just such a gift. And now I've got another dream that I'm working on, and I'm dressing for success myself, is I'm standing in front of a client who told me they were blocked and stuck, and that they used my 28-day e-course, Discover the Creative Edge, and they invested in themselves and worked individually with me for several hours, and how they feel more vibrant and alive, happier, more fulfilled. They feel they're in this continuous state of flow. Ideas are coming to them on demand, and their lives are changing and improving. Their relationships are richer. They're happier. They've lost weight, whatever it is. And I feel so good that I've made a difference and I'm contributing to their life. So I think it's really important. Dress for success. The third tip is go on an artist date. The first time I heard that term artist date was in Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity. Excuse me. She calls artist dates a signed play. So she'll say, visit an art gallery or museum, go and stare at art, stand close, step back, analyze how the paintings or artwork look differently depending on your vantage point. Let me tell you, my sister and I actually take a program in Chicago called Art Encounter. And 10 times during the fall, we go to either an artist studio or we go to somebody's private collection in their home. And we do exactly that. And we are so inspired, and my sister especially, she saw a painting at one woman's home and she said, oh my God, I just love that. And she went home and she played. And all of a sudden she has a new business creating artwork, which she calls love letters, based on seeing this one painting. And if you want to find out more, I have a Creative Activist Facebook page, and you can go there, and her interview is up there. So I hope you enjoy it. So I want you to create your own artist dates. Think about what is it that would turn you on. Take your camera or your sketchbook and go on a walk about town. Take pictures of anything that sparks your interest. One thing I always ask people to do is take a picture or take a sketchbook, stand in front of something at different times of the day. Notice it. Look at it. How is it different? Or sometimes I'll suggest that you take a trip to a store and you just observe the store. Look at it from not as a customer, but just as an artist walking in and painting it. What do you see? You know, when you go to the grocery store, they always say, look around the edges because that's where all the live food is. It's not canned. So look at the colors. Go stand at the vegetable bin. You know, I know whenever I travel, I'm always taking pictures of markets. I love to take pictures of the spices laid out. I love to see the fresh fruits and vegetables. They turn me on. You know, find something that excites you. You know, the other thing I've taken pictures of all over the world is laundry. I love to see laundry hanging on a line. I've seen them out windows, off balconies, you know, all over the place. So find something that just like, wow, you know, you feel really good about. I have a friend who loves antique clothes. So she hits yard sales and consignment shops. Textures and patterns intrigue her. So she's always looking and feeling the material. And, you know, so whatever it is, find that for yourself. Maybe you're into tools. So take a trip to the hardware store. That may be nirvana for you. Cameron says an art estate is wooing your own consciousness and refilling it with images and experiences that replenish your inner creative well. So what are you going to do to replenish your inner creative well? Just make a list of a few things and places you might go that might just spark you. The fourth activity I don't need to call it anything. It's spending time in nature. It is something that I know renews my soul and spirit every day. So if you live near a wooded area, spend time in a forest, hiking, or hanging around a campfire. I know I'm a tree hugger. There is something to me about standing in front of a big old tree and just wrapping my arms around it and feeling the life energy flowing in there, or standing there and watching little bugs crawl up and down the tree, whatever it is. You know, the other thing for me that's really soothing and wonderful is water. So I live near Lake Michigan, so I'll go over there. 2 years they had the beach closed, so I was like really disappointed. So I couldn't really get near the water, but they reopened one of the beaches recently, and I'm so happy. So I'll go there and I'll just close my eyes and listen to the water lap against the shore, or I'll watch the gulls dive for food. There is something so restorative to me. So if you're near a lake, a river, a beach, go, enjoy, and use all your senses. You know, I find it pretty relaxing to walk around my neighborhood with my dog. And I just look at the plants and trees that are blooming. I love to hear the birds sing early in the morning and watch the ducks waddle into the pond near my house. I love talking to my neighbors every day and just saying, hi, how are you, smiling, and then having the sun kiss my face. You know, if you're not near nature and you're a city dweller and you really can't find an open space, go to a garden store or florist shop and just inhale the aroma and the smell, you know, and just enjoy it. The fifth tip is see a spider's web. Have you ever noticed the fuzz on a rose petal or been transfixed watching the spider spin a web? Most of us look, but we don't see. Georgia O'Keeffe said, no one sees a flower really because it takes time. So she painted these huge flowers so you couldn't ignore them. You know, in her painting, she often singled out one object and enlarged it, one detail. So I want you to look around your room right now and pick out one object and describe it or draw it. Take the next 2 minutes and really look at it. What is the shape, the texture, the color? Maybe it's a glass diffuser with 10 bamboo reeds, and you go and stand before it, and you inhale the scent, and it just tickles your nose or it wafts through the air. Pick one object, and I'll be quiet for the next minute so that you can just write or draw it. would that feel to really stand before something or touch it or feel it or inhale it? This is just a great way of being present in your life. And too often we're so busy. We have that saying, stop and smell the roses. And you don't even have to go outside to smell the roses. Just look around your own home and find one object that you can, maybe there's a story that'll come for you. There's, in my living room, I have this piece of art. And every time I look at it, and it's a little sculpture of a young man, and it's dressed in a jester's outfit, and I love it because I remember being with my girlfriend. We had gone to Hilton Head, and we went to an artist studio, and we found it there. So just spend time doing that. The sixth thing that I call is something I developed called a visual diary. I went through a really serious depression in my early 30s, and it was the kind of thing where I got my kids off to school every day, and I'd crawl back in bed. And I'd wait until they came home, and I was pretty much curled up in fetal position. And then I'd get out and overeat, and I was miserable, and I drowned my sorrows in food, especially chocolate ice cream, cookies, and cake. And I was just struggling so. And then it came to me that I needed to put together a book, which I call Visual Diary, and I started collecting pictures of things that made me smile. This is before Pinterest or the internet. And so, you really did have magazines and cards and newspapers and maps, and anytime an advertisement came. And so I started putting together a visual diary of pictures and ads that made me smile. And so when those moments of overwhelm and depression came, I would actually just pull the book out and wow, I'd feel better. So I've done that every year for, 20, 30 years now, I guess. And telling you how old I am. I'm an Angelus Goddess, by the way. I just turned a wonderful 65. And so, I've done them, and I've done them as themes. I've, collected pictures of health, of wellness, of wealth, of things that I want. So it becomes a sort of a vision board. I've, I've collected images of, just about anything, flower gardens that just make me smile. So look for things that'll make you smile, that'll make you feel good. And it can be an inspiration. And if you want, you can add words. You can use them as prompts when you're writing. It's a wonderful tool. I'm just going to take a moment to tell you about my program before we do the last one, the seventh one, and it's called Discover the Creative Edge. This is a 28-day e-course, and every day you're going to get a little thing like we've been talking about, a little activity that you can do in less than 15 minutes a day. And if you can hold a crayon and you can write, you're going to be successful. But it's a way to spark your imagination. And every day on my website, I have this available as an investment of $147. But as I mentioned before, I have this new book coming out called The Creative Activist. And I have something called a Pub Slush campaign, which is about using my own imagination and inspiration to raise funds for the book. And I'm partners with an organization called Northwest CASA, which is a Center Against Sexual Assault. They provide free counseling to survivors and their families. And so I partner with them. And the money that I raise, 10% goes to them, as well as any sales of my book. And so I'm offering something really special right now. If you go to my Pub Slush page, you can get a copy of my book, which will be out at the end of July, and the Discover the Creative Edge book class for only $75. It's a great investment, and you're doing good in the world. So if you'll go there, it's PUB, as in boy, SLUSH.com/books, BOOKS/ID/6478. And I'll send it tomorrow when I send you this video, this audio, so that you can take a look. I think it's a great way, and if you really want to tap into your imagination, free that innate creativity that we all have, create the world of your dreams, break through limiting beliefs, have more energy and vitality, all you need is a consistent practice, and that takes 28 days to create a new habit, and that's why this is 28 days delivered to your inbox. This is the bargain of the century. So make creative expression your new habit. And if you want to work privately with me, I have a few spots left, so you can contact me at Ray at The Winning Adventure or on Facebook, and we can have a conversation to see if it's a fit. So thank you. And now we're going to go to the seventh one, which is read something inspirational. I'm going to read you a portion of Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Miracle in the World. And he wrote the God Memorandum, which is the message from God to me and you. And here's an excerpt from the memorandum. So take a moment, close your eyes, and just allow the words to wash over you. Today is your birthday. This is your new date of birth. Your first life, like a play in a theater, was only a rehearsal. This time the curtain is up. This time the world watches and waits to applaud. This time you will not fail. Light your candles. Share your cake. Pour the wine. You have been reborn. Like a butterfly from its chrysalis, you will fly. Fly as high as you wish, and nothing will obstruct your mission or your search for the true riches of life. Let me share with you again the secret you heard at your birth and forgot. You are my greatest miracle. You are the greatest miracle in the world. Let us take inventory of the miracle that you are. Let us take inventory of your blessing. First, you have eyes to see. You have the ability to enjoy a snowflake, an eagle, a child, a rainbow, and the look of love. Count one blessing. You can hear. Your ears hear the wind in the trees, children at play, and the words, I love you. Count another blessing. You can speak. No other creature has words to calm the angry, warm the lonely, encourage the defeated, and say, I love you. Count another blessing. You can move. You are not a tree condemned to a small plot. You can stretch, run, dance, and work. Count another blessing. You can give and receive love, for you know that to receive love, it must be given with no thought of its return. To love unselfishly is its own reward, and should love not be returned, it is never lost. Count another blessing. Your heart is strong. It beats hour after hour, day and night, and year after year. Man has never created such a machine. Count another blessing. And your brain. Your brain is the most complex structure in the universe. You can file away every perception, sound, taste, smell, every action you have ever experienced. Are you poor? No, you are very, very rich. Study the list. Count them again. Tally your assets. There are 4 laws to happiness and success. The first law is to count your blessings. The second law is to proclaim your rarity. You are a great rarity. Consider a painting by Rembrandt or a bronze by Degas or a play by Shakespeare. They have great value, but you are the most valuable treasure on the face of this earth. Never in all the 70 billion humans who have walked this planet since the beginning of time has there been anyone exactly like you. You have shown no knowledge or appreciation of your uniqueness. You are the rarest thing in the world. Why have you valued yourself in pennies when you are worth a king's ransom? Why did you listen to those who demeaned you, or far worse, why did you believe them? Do not hide your rarity any longer. Bring it forth. Show your rarity to the world, and they will shower you with gold. This is the second law. Proclaim your rarity. And now you have received 2 laws of success and happiness. Count your blessings. Proclaim your rarity. Next is the third law. The secret that will produce riches and acclaim beyond your dreams. Go another mile. The only certain means of success is to render more and better service than is expected of you, no matter what your task may be. This is a habit followed by all successful people since the beginning of time. Therefore, the surest way to doom yourself to mediocrity is to perform only the work for which you are paid. For there is a pendulum to all of life, and the sweat you deliver, if not rewarded today, will swing back tomorrow tenfold. Go another mile. You cannot command success. You can only deserve it. And now you know the great secret necessary in order to merit its reward. 3 laws of success. Count your blessings. Proclaim your rarity. Go another mile. Do not fear as you enter your new life. Now you know you are a miracle. And there is no fear in a miracle. Be proud. You're not the momentary whim of a careless creator experimenting in the laboratory of life. You were made with purpose. For how could one improve on a miracle? You are a marvel to behold. You are enabled with all you need to reach your full potential. Now we come to the 4th law of success and happiness, the power to choose. You have complete control over your destiny. You have the power to choose. Use wisely your power of choice. Choose to love rather than hate. Choose to laugh rather than cry. Choose to create rather than destroy. Choose to persevere rather than quit. Choose to praise rather than gossip. Choose to heal rather than wound. Choose to give rather than steal. Choose to live rather than die. You are capable of great wonders. Your potential is unlimited. Never demean yourself again. Never settle for the crumbs of life. Never hide your talents from this day forward. You can choose failure and despair or success and happiness. The choice is exclusively yours. Remember the 4 laws of happiness and success? 1, count your blessings. 2, proclaim your rarity. 3, go another mile. 4, use wisely your power of choice. This day, you have been notified. You are the greatest miracle in the world. And I would say, choose to tap into your imagination and discover the creative edge. As I said before, just check out my Pub Slush campaign, and I know that this is going to help you. It's going to take you further, and you are going to find the imagination that you may have forgotten. It's still there. This is your opportunity. Life needs you. The world needs you, your skills, your talents. And so make a commitment right now to find your imagination, to be the most magnificent version of you. Every human has limitless potential. You just need to tear away the layers of doubt that your mind's been wrapped in. Realize every second you're a brand new person and you can make new changes. Right now, go ahead. And I'm going to say, as soon as we get off this call, take a few minutes and do a brain dump about everything that you just heard tonight. Just allow yourself to start writing. And if the blank page sort of scares you, I'm going to give you one quote. Put that on your paper and start from there. Alice in Wonderland said, "There's no use trying," she said. "One can't believe impossible things." And the Red Queen said to her, "I dare say you haven't had much practice. When I was your age, I always did it for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. So write that down. I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast, and allow that to be the first line of whatever you write. This is Ray Luskin of The Winning Adventure and the Creative Activist. So have a great evening, and thank you so much.